Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Gutierrez. I am the writer and the author of the book Patriots from the Barrio. It is the true story of Company E in the 141st Infantry. They were the only all Mexican American U.S. Army unit in World War II. I'm here today with Manuel Lara. Hello, Manuel.
Hi, buddy. How are you doing?
Good, good. And the reason why I have Manuel here with us is because Manuel is doing the Audible recording for the book. Now, I've had a lot of requests for people who came out and asked me, Dave, is there an Audible book, audio book? And it's really heart-wrenching to hear some of these stories when I hear that Dave, my dad is a World War II veteran, and he can't read as much. The lettering is too small in the book, so he really listens to books now. So this is the type of reader that's going to really love to hear this. And I thought it'd be a great idea to have Manuel on here so that the readers can get to meet you. And well, welcome, Manuel. And how about a little introduction and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi to all of Dave's readers and hopefully my listeners soon. Well, we're gonna have to me this is the first book I ever do for Audible, so it's pretty interesting whole thing. I've always been a World War II buff, so this is like it was the perfect book for me to start up on. I've had a lot of fun reading it. The stories are just amazing. The way the book follows through. Really enjoying it, and I expect everyone else to really have a good time listening to it. And I've really tried to submerge myself in the story. I even went into it was between Netflix and Vudu that I have these streaming services, and I downloaded a couple of the movies that relate to the time and to the war and to the actual battles. They actually have some army footage, and it's I've really immersed myself in the whole process. And then being Hispanic myself has made a real connection. You never thought that Hispanics were Latinos were a big part of this World War II wars with and in the Europe theater. I've just been having so much fun recording and getting to know actually a little bit about David's history, right? Background.
Right.
Been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Myself, I'm Cuban, Cuban American. We consider ourselves sometimes Hispanics. We tend to keep the family very, very close, right? So I'm third generation immigrant. It's been we can relate to all the Mexicans, and Hispanics is one family to me, and we all even though internally we have our wars, but that stays at everybody bickers amongst each other, but at the end we're all one.
It's
like at home.
We familia.
Familia. You could talk. I could talk about my sister, but nobody else can. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it works.
Absolutely. So for those who are unfamiliar with Audible, audible.com is where you could the book is going to be at. You'll be able to order the book through audible.com. I was really excited when my publisher when I started asking the question to my publisher, is there any way we can get an Audible book? And then he looked into it and he came back to me and said, Dave, that yes, we're moving in that direction. We're going that way. And I was really excited, especially for the people that have written me, and like I mentioned, a lot of them had World War II veterans that want to read it. Older people want to read this, and for those of for our readers out there, Manuel went ahead and sent me a couple of clips of him reading the book, and I was just stunned to hear his voice come over. And I don't know, for a reader, for a writer to have someone reading, and for to have you're listening to someone read what something you wrote is an amazing feeling. And I thought your voice came out over very well. I think our readers are going to love listening to you tell the stories. So Manuel, welcome to the Company E family, my man.
Man, that's some big shoes to fill. But I am so happy to be part of the Company E family. I mean, it's you just send tingles up my arms, man. It just very, very proud. It's very, very nice of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I hope that the reader really enjoy. I put a lot of effort into it, and hopefully I'm down to the last 2 chapters. It's just that it's been slower because of, like I said, me getting sick and my lungs not doing so well. But it's getting there, and it sounds great. We have been recording everything here, as you can see in my my audio booth.
Yeah.
I've been doing voiceovers for a better part of my life, since I was basically 17 years old. But this is my first entire book that I read, and it's been a lot of fun, because a lot of times it's been a problem for me, because a lot of people, when I send in voiceovers, they're like, "Hey, who's a Hispanic guy?" Because sometimes our accents come through.
Yes.
And even though, to me, I mean, I don't know about you guys over there, but to me, I thought I sounded pretty good doing English, right? And I had done I'd done something for Disney, and they had, I was doing a casting, but I included myself in the this was years ago, and they're like, "Hey man, we really like that guy's voice, but you think he could lose the accent?" I was like, "Oh no, what are you talking about?"
No, he's not going to lose that.
No, it's embedded with me, just like Company E, and all the stories of Ramon and everybody there. There's just so much meat to everything, and when you see the troubles they went through, knowing that they were facing this crazy adversity and death, they still marched forward, and they came through. There were so many instances of compassion as well, and empathy. I felt such a strong connection to, like, Captain Chapin, right? I thought, I was like, man, in a time where everybody was really, vamos a decir, un poquito racista, right?
Yeah.
And a little racist. The compassion that guy had with his men was amazing.
Right.
And he was, the flip side of that thing is that for him, he was so proud of his men, right? So proud. And then you got to think, there's a side of him to his men, right? But that pride, he carried out to the flip side with him and his superiors, which having a full company, let's suppose, of Hispanics or Mexicans, or what have you, could have been seen as some kind of downgrade or lower rank, right?
Correct.
But this guy was all about it. And he trusted his men, they trusted him. It was a beautiful thing. I don't know how much I'm giving away here, but it's just,
no,
that was one of the,
for the writer to hear you explain that is
All right.
awesome, because that is exactly what I wanted to get out. That is, if the reader can get that, and wow, you just confirmed a lot for me. So all of that hard work that I did, perfect. Thank you.
No, and the funny thing is the way I've been. So the way that I see the book, right, is it goes in the let's suppose the first half. You have such a task to put together everybody, their backgrounds, right, and it's just homework just to introduce all these characters. You got to think about it. It's a company. It's
Right.
a it's and specifically, in the U.S. Army. So you had to kind of explain where everybody was from, their parents. So it took a little bit for me to. So, all right, I was like, so where's this going? And then once we start getting into the meat and potatoes of it, I was just blown away. I mean, there's some parts where some of the characters, unfortunately do pass in the theater of war. They gave the ultimate sacrifice for their country, this country, which is, some people say, well, what kind of alliance they have towards it. No. It's deep. It runs very deep and very proud. And they gave it unhesitantly, right? So when there's some moments when I caught myself reading the book, right, and doing all the going through the chapter, and then all of a sudden, one of the characters passes or gets blown up or something, and I'm like, oh my God. And I physically say it because I was like, oh my God, this person just passed. I can't believe it. This was one of the guys that was supposed to make it to the end. He was supposed to come back to the barrio and have his typical Mexican food con su familia y sus reuniones y las fiestas, celebrando todo el mundo junto, everybody celebrating together, coming back and really, celebrating that they're back from the war. And then, no, it wasn't that. It was, no, he gave his life. He did the ultimate sacrifice. So there was no celebration. But at the same time, the parents and the family that were back home took enormous pride in knowing that their family was a part of beating all those evil Nazis,
Right.
and all the and just being a part of the fabric and the history of the United States.
Awesome. Well said. Well, I'll share a little. I'll break a little news for you. NBC's streaming service is doing a thing for Hispanic heritage. They have a show called True Colors. Okay. And they have a few of Latino personalities. I think they're doing Mario Lopez and a few others. And John Leguizamo's episode airs later on this month. Well, John Leguizamo is really big on Hispanic history.
Yes, he is.
He actually read the book for research. And he's going to be using a photo from all of the men of Company E in his episode. So we're in the credits of True Colors that's streaming on NBC.
Very, very nice. You should be very, very proud.
Yes.
It is an amazing, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed reading this. And then the funny thing is that my family, they want to hear the book, but I won't give it to them until I'm finished. so I'll come out of the room and I'll be like, oh, you can't believe what happened. He was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, you look frazzled. I'm like, they just killed like one of my favorite characters and it just died. They're like, I'm like, but Manny, isn't it about war? I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Stuff like that happens, right?
Well, I want to thank you again. I think our readers are going to love to get to know you. And again, welcome to the Company E family, Manny. And I'm
going to salute you and thank you very much for having me.
All righty. Well, you have a good one. Thank you.
Have a good one, buddy.